most of us are loving the warmer weather and the flowers that are finally blooming everywhere. Also, in this particular month, we set aside a day to celebrate Mother's Day. There are a lot of good moms out there, but I'm thankful to say I have the best one in all the world. And if you have a godly mom, I'm sure you feel the same way. I'm thankful for my mom and her dedicated walk with the Lord. There are literally thousands of things that my mom has taught me. Countless times when I'm in the kitchen, I'll hear her voice ringing in my ears from a bit of advice that she gave to me as a little girl in the kitchen. As I go about my day, there are countless life lessons that she instilled in me through the years, and they still guide my decisions and even my thoughts. There are countless bits of wisdom that have shaped me into who I am today. But after all of her guidance, her instruction, and her advice, there's one thing in particular that stands out. There's a scripture tucked away in Proverbs that Mom pointed out to me years ago. And this has helped me to stay rooted and grounded in what I believe. Proverbs says, "My son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change." I don't know about you, but I've never seen a day when there's so much change. The winds of change are blowing like I have never seen before. Now we know change in and of itself isn't wrong. Seasons change. We change the sheets on our bed when they need to be washed. We change the tires on our vehicles when they're worn out. We look at a menu and change our mind several times when we're trying to decide what we want for dinner. Change in this way is a daily, harmless part of life. But there is an aspect of change that is detrimental to our Christian walk. Solomon said, "Meddle not with them that are given to change." And we know this is a God-given warning that we should not have close dealings with people who are prone or apt to revise what they believe. First of all, we need to observe the fact that God doesn't change. He said in Malachi 3 and 6, "For I am the Lord, I change not." And aren't we thankful for that? We would have no sense of stability or security as Christians if we served a God that was prone to change, if He was wishy-washy, unreliable, and inconsistent. So if God doesn't change, we shouldn't change. If there's any change in our Christian experience, it should only be that we are moving higher, going deeper, and drawing closer to Him. Mom has often helped me to understand that people are changing because they are doubting what God has spoken, which is the oldest trick of the enemy. Looking back to the Garden of Eden, we see the devil in the form of a serpent asking Eve, "Did God really say that?" And she knew what God said, no question about it. But she began to entertain the enemy's voice, and within a few moments, she was questioning everything that she believed. And if that's you today, please stop and consider what's really going on. If you've been keeping company with someone or with a group of people that's trying to convince you to doubt everything you've ever stood for, I beg you to realize the danger that's involved. If you're being tempted to alter your views concerning whatever it may be, your wardrobe, your music, your God-inspired standards, your personal convictions, the Scripture says, don't meddle with these types of people. Paul warned us that in the last days, some would deceive others and they would deceive themselves in the process. Their arguments are silky smooth. We've heard them. They'll use scriptures as the foundation for their debates and for their ideas, just like Satan used in the wilderness when he tempted the Lord. Peter told us in 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 16 and 17, They that are unlearned and unstable rest, that's W-R-E-S-T, as they do also the other scriptures, unto their own destruction. Now, rest is a word we don't hear often, and this is something else that Mom explained to me and enlightened my eyes concerning change. Rest means people will distort and twist the scriptures to fit their own ideas and their own opinions. But Peter went on to say, Ye therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things before, beware, lest ye also, being led away with the error of the wicked, and catch this, fall from your own steadfastness. I've never been more thankful for a godly mom who has enlightened me on the touchy subject of change. She has helped me to understand, though everyone around me may be doing something, I'm not going to stand before them on Judgment Day. I'll stand before the Lord. I'll give account of every detail of my life. I want to live in such a way that I can hear Him say, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. And the only way I'll hear those words is to live a life that's consistent, stable, and steadfast. In a world that's changing all around me, I want to say thank you, Mom, for giving me such priceless, godly advice. It's needed like never before. Thank you so much, and happy Mother's Day.